Witness! Tell us your name. Wait, this witness doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order! Yanni Yogi. Yanni Yogi. So it was you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent to get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. My job, my fiancée, my social standing. Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years, this was it. Finally a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. Von Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. And the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent. In this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Objection!
Someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. But that means no. Edgeworth! Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick! Edgeworth's trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them that he was the murderer in the DR6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Oh, what do I do? The judgment has already passed. Our objective... Oh, you fucking idiot, Phoenix. Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream, a nightmare. It was only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was clear as day. The murderer, the criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. Order! Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. We try this man for the crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. I'm sorry, Wright. I just wasted all your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, sir. I mean, you kill your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective, but it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy, just crazy! Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? I just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is about to begin. I will prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right? Now then, I would like to assume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed to the crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let's try that again. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Oh, Carly, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edward was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please, please. That day I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. And until now you thought this memory was a dream? We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honour. What was the trial your father was involved in that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know my father lost, and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator. Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but as time passed and no one came to help. What did you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then... What was it? A pistol. I assume it was the bailiff Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. And you picked it up. What happened next? Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous, but the air was getting so thick I panicked. So you're saying you threw a pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. The gunshot and the horrible scream. To this day, yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I'll ever forget that scream as long as I live. There it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. I don't know what it means. I better find out quick. Well, we found the heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. Ah! There we go.
Objection!
Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream, then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honour, unfortunately you don't. Look at this file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness's testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this as evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? Look at the victim data of this file. It says quite plainly the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot?
Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot?
Your Honour, as I'm sure you're aware, the incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice, however we do not know when the second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What?
I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we've heard. One of the shots was fired by the defendant, the boy at the time. Do you have any proof the other shot fired had something to do with the case?
Obviously. Your Honour, I think I will be able to show you proof. What? Impossible.
Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence the second firing of the pistols related to this incident?
It's got to be this photo, right?
Take that!
Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago.
I can see the victim lying there is Gregory Edgeworth.
This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it.
So let me get this straight. The photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where?
Your Honour, please get a clue. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here.
I see, a bullet hole in the door.
Your Honour, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from the pistol, yet there's also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired that second shot.
Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honour. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, but who else could it be?
The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file closely. Try the case summary page. Look at what is written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, the other bullet would have been discovered at the scene. He does have a point. The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the only one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet fired was not found. It's highly unlikely the police overlooked this second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
How did this happen? I don't believe the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Mayor. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No! You said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. When I saw the photograph, I thought the two shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now... Was I wrong? I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick.
Seems to have finally cleared up this incident. Only one bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial thus far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though not your intention? Yes, I did.
Oh no. He's accepted the guilt.
Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce my verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections?
I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There were so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Mr. Wright?
I have a feeling no objections is the right thing to say here. Every need I thought I had has been squashed. This is really the end. Edgeworth, I'm sorry. I closed my eyes. What was it I'd been doing all this time? Wasn't my whole life leading up to today? But now that I'm here, I know I've failed. Mia, I'm sorry. No, not yet. Huh? Maya? What? Object. Your only weapon. Are you okay, Nick? What's happening to me? I have to think. Wait, don't think. Act. Your Honor, I object.
Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object?
Oh. Nick? I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright.
Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet, it exists.
What? But we've just heard proof it did not exist.
I realise that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet, but why?
Huh?
First of all, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there a pressing need for the murderer to search for the bullet?
Why the murderer spent time to look for the stray bullet? I haven't got a clue.
What's wrong, Mr. Wright? The murderer had no reason to take the bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true.
Had to take it. Had to take it, the murderer, but what does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor? I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene, but the murderer had to take the bullet.
Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean?
Well, for instance...
For instance, what?
Maybe the bullet hit the murderer.
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you'd have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head. What if that really happened?
Let me get this straight. At the time of the murderer themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime?
Yes. I guess that's how it would work, yes.
But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from the elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean...
The murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol from his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges, and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside.
Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. What are you saying? Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right, I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday?
Gregory Edgewell dealt a blow to his perfect trial record.
Wow.
It must have been quite a shock for Rockcom. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and last vacation he's taken in many years of prosecuting.
What if Von Karma didn't take the vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... It could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the L6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man.
Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed.
No, Your Honor.
Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect?
Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect.
Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
Oh, my hands are shaking.
What?
Von Karma.
Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma? The prosecutor? The one standing right over there?
Bah!
You don't object?
I see no need. Why honour this ridiculous outburst with an objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident, yet you pride yourself on a perfect score. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason?
So you're claiming I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no. Where'd I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify.
Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Oh, nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out yourself. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot?
Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much.
What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot.
What exactly is that?
Sorry.
Judge if you would. Right, penalty.
I'm really not sure how I managed to make it this far.
Mr. Wright, please reconsider your evidence.
Fuck. Ah, come on. Ah, fuck it. Oh. Oh, stupid. I thought that straight away, but I thought that it would come after something else. Oh. Anyway, it's done now. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is the bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself.
You don't mean...
I do. There is a possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma.
Is that even possible? For all these years?
Well, there's one way to find out. We can use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find.
I refuse. You refuse? Refusing this means you acknowledge the bullet is still inside you? Order! Order! Order!
Your Honor, the defense requests we be allowed to use the metal detector.
Judge, I call for suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now.
Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something is inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma?
You. It was you.
I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6.
But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that?
Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. Yes, you do. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Right.
Mr. Wright, can you prove it? Can you prove the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6?
Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. Yes, I do. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close, one day away from freedom, but you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you'd dig your own grave of trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof.
That's a bullet?
Where did you get that? This is the bullet from the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all ballistic markings intact.
Ballistic markings?
You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago.
Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate.
We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We can analyse both bullets. If the markings match, we would know that both bullets were fired from the same gun, the very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, You will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder, and then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet, and solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma?
That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know.
Help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. Stop breathing my air. I'll stop you. Stop breathing my air. Get away. Get away from my father. Ah!
It's the scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed! Mr. Von Karma? Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that will never fade. I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands!
Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry.
Von Karma, it's not like you to make that kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you.
I was careless. I'm sorry, you'll have to be penalised. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time.
Edgeworth.
It was a shock like none I've ever known. Me, penalised. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button but nothing happened. And then there was a noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on, the elevator doors opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. In his last moments, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died never knowing who'd shot him. Later he spoke for a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge, what are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it.
Very well. Appears we've come to a very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. You are innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, not guilty. That is all. Court is adjourned.
Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you've crushed him, Nick. Crushed! I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we'd had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears the whole time myself. But now it's all just a good memory. So, it's finally over, Edgeworth. Right. Yeah. I'm not sure how to say this. I know. Try thank you. I see. Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry, I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Woo! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. My salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoa. I feel foolish. Don't worry. Take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Louder! Y'all look great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats. Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one were there. You were the witness of the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, huh? Speaking of which, what are you going to do now, Lotta? Who, me? I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why the sad face, Larry? What's happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kiance. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, a little gift from me and a celebration. Celebration? It's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you're welcome to come along too. My treat, pal. Huh? Oh, thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's a super question, me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? I think you'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah, what's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not that strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh? A weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick, wasn't that the exact amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38? No. No! Larry, it was you?! What are you so surprised about, Wright? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But it doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? Think back to the day 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came to school anyway. And he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I never was good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected. I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day.
Everyone else was saying you did it. The whole class was against you, remember?
Yeah, too well.
Right, you may not know this, but we had a saying when we were back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts.
I know.
Really, Wright, I'm surprised you didn't figure it out.
Well, that sure is an unexpected turn of events, huh?
Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations had run out on Mr. Edgeworth?
I'd say so, yes.
Well, there you have it. Oh. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did.
Well, you've always been something of an insufferable emotionalist.
Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death. The death sentence for both of you. Man, if I'd only known, I'd become a prosecutor.
Same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal, and became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I'd known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all.
Edgeworth.
Want to switch, right?
Hey, y'all, line up and take a photo. Hey, photo time, let's go.
And after that, dinner on me.
Detective Gumshoe took us out on the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I am a spirit medium in training, of course. I wanted to help Mr. Edgeworth too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I decided to go back to my training. I become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Oh, the first train for the mountains will have already left to the station. I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick! Maya! So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay? Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he'd taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6, but you were the one who rescued the last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma, and you were the one who gave it to me. Nick? Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So this is it. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney I once was. Now a new story begins, with the same old crazy cast of characters.
Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim?
Yes, Your Honor. Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Hey, pal. Mr. Edgeworth come to the precinct to wish me Happy New Year. Talk about a pleasant surprise.
Ooh, Detective Gumshoe.
Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh?
Huh, Nick? Haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That miss is a nice lady. It's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now. Yeah.
Fucking Larry. Who? Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I've sort of told him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. Fuck off, Payne. Oh, this fucking
Phoenix Wright, and our defense attorney who I wrote that affidavit for, yes. Well, you should know I've taken over management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright? Oh, yes, me, I don't understand, was it not? I wonder how he's doing. I haven't seen him as of late. Ah, the days of my youth had the scent of fresh lemon, you see.
Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. Can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Oh, here she goes again. I'm pleased to announce the Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe that Mr. Wright a great deal. I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I don't want to ruin any kids' dreams, you know. I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but I didn't have time, so I did this Pink Princess trading cards. So she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living anyway? Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess, alright? But, you know, I stepped into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess suit. Ugh, what a dog. Kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age. Yeah, I remember Wright, that lawyer guy. Her and me, I'm trained to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. Aww. Oh. Bonus episode, okay.